Well, hi, well, big welcome back to the channel. Well, this week it's all about paint. Have we got it right or wrong? But for now, let's get to the yard. Well, I'm just on my way to the paint shop right now. Typically it's absolutely pouring down, but there you go. It feels really good to have got all the rubbish loaded up onto the skip today. Well, we got a skip in the end, £240, including VAT, for a 6-yard skip. They'll take the material as it is. Obviously, I've got to cut it up into size to get it into the skip. But I didn't think that was too bad, actually. That was the cheapest option, and we had everything from sort of, you know, over £1,000 to this. Obviously, there's a bit of work involved for me to cut it up and get it in there, but that's okay. It's here for a week, so I need to crack on. Well, that's it. Skip's all loaded up, plus a few other bits and pieces from the yard. Took about 2 hours in the end, so that's it, ready to go. I've got to get a couple of measurements whilst I'm here, but I'm actually quite intrigued just to see how they're progressing and how it's looking, really. So that's what's really bringing me here. Okay, so there's the truck behind me. Just had a really good look around. It's at the early stages of prep. The chassis still has to get shot blasted. That's in a different bay. It's raining today, so everything's inside. But yeah, it's looking okay. Glenn's in here. This is Glenn's project for the week, and so it's sort of hard to visualize. But given that it's only about sort of 4 days away, and he's saying, yeah, it's going to be ready. Don't worry about it. He's given me every assurance that it'll be done. So. There's another few guys that they're going to sort of chuck at it tomorrow, and yeah, I am looking forward to seeing it. I've just been over here actually with my templates. Just had to confirm a few things for the tool bins, and I think we're done. So I'm going to head back now. The rain has eased off a little bit, which is nice, and yeah, that's it. That's me for the day, really. So this is what we're at the minute. Whilst the truck is in the paint shop, it's fabricating the rear tool bins. I can't take credit for these. The guys here have fabricated these. I did the template, and I'm sort of tidying them up, but it's beyond my skill set. It's one of those things where, you know, it takes a huge amount of time. Obviously they're bespoke, and therefore they cost a lot of money, which is the downside, because you just cannot buy this sort of thing off the shelf. But they're not a million miles away from hitting the paint shop. Well, we've got another little win this morning. We have our fresh water tank delivered. It's 565 litres, less the baffle, so it's about 550 litres in real time. It's made to measure, and it's at this point where you hope that you've got your measurements right. Now, the truck is in the paint shop right now, so we won't know if we're exactly right until we get it back next week. Izzy and I can't help ourselves and pay another visit to the paint shop to check out the progress and get a feel for how it's going to look. Anything and everything that can be removed has been, and at this point the cabin box have already been sprayed, and we get a glimpse at the colour. I specifically asked for the lower black section of the cab to be painted with Raptor paint with a fine textured finish. Much has been shot blasted, including the bumpers, but for now it's time to leave these guys to finish the job in hand. Well, I'm just off the phone. The truck is ready.
It's ready?
It's ready.
That's early. I wasn't expecting that till later.
It is. So we're expecting it this afternoon, and it's lunchtime, just before lunchtime.
I've just started to get butterflies. I feel really nervous.
Me too.
What if we don't like it?
Come on.
Are we going? What
We're
if we don't
going.
like it?
Of course we'll like it.
Well, if we don't like it, it will be your fault, obviously.
Obviously.
Come on.
Well, we're 2 minutes away from picking up the truck, and I have to say, I can hardly contain my excitement.
I've got butterflies in my tummy.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things that, you know, we've done all the swatches, we've done actually quite big areas of the colour, and we've seen it last week, sort of painted in panels, but to see it in its entirety, sort of finished, yeah, I'm a bit nervous.
Yeah, me too.
So yeah, next time you see this, I see the truck, I should say, will be en masse. I just
is
got a
it?
glimpse of there behind the yellow orange van.
Oh wow, I think it's
Wow.
gorgeous.
What do you think is? You like
I think
it?
it's gorgeous, yeah. It's exactly what I wanted. They've done a really good job.
They have. Right, let's park up.
Yeah.
You right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There it is. Anthony! Listen, you're on camera.
Oh, man. Hello.
That looks amazing.
Oh, right, all right. I thought you were going to say you didn't like the colour.
No, I love the colour.
Come on then, happy?
Yeah, very happy.
Right,
I love the colour. I
So-
know it's almost white, but I really like it.
so we've had a really good walk around. We've probably spent about 20 minutes now sort of having a chat with the guys, having a walk around, looking at little bits and pieces. There's a few other little bits and pieces that we want to get done. But it's got to come back anyway because there's a bit of work to do around the brush rails and a few other jobs. We always knew it was going to have to come back, so we're going to get those tiny details really. I think we're going to head off now.
Yeah.
And yeah.
She suddenly looks like a truck.
Yeah.
An overland truck, not
Right.
a commercial truck.
Yeah. Come on, let's get on the road.
Okay.
Okay, so let's talk colour.
I think of all the things to do with the truck, it's caused us. We've talked about it the most. That makes us sound really shallow, but it's really important. And we've gone through how many iterations?
We've been on this colour journey for about over a year now.
Yeah. Every time we see a truck on the road, do we like that? Don't we like that? We've seen some gorgeous colours, and I would say we've gone through the
Yeah.
whole. What's the rainbow from one end to the other, and everything in between before we finally decided what we were going to do.
We started off with something sludgy, something greyish, something boring, I suppose, to go down the colour path. And so, because we've seen a couple of vehicles on the road and thought, wow,
Yeah.
that could be amazing.
Yeah, we took photographs of things, cobbles on the floor and
Yeah.
foliage and things that we liked the colour of and tried to match it.
I think we've been to every car showroom. We've tried.
B&Q.
We've tried to
Hours there.
seek out old colours, because sometimes you just see a colour, maybe on an old Land Rover.
Yeah,
Think, oh wow,
Yeah.
that looks amazing.
and actually we did choose a Land Rover colour. That for a long time that was our choice. And then right at the sort of like, I don't know, maybe a month before, we said, maybe that's not quite right, and we changed it. So it's not a Land Rover colour.
We were going to have Grassmere Green, which is quite a mint grey. It's like, but we thought it would be like driving a big mint aero bar.
And you always have to remember, it's really hard when all you've got is a little swatch and you're thinking about that colour on, a 5 metre long box.
Yeah.
It's going to not magnify, but just be huge.
But there's so much more to it than just, I suppose, the vanity of it.
Yeah.
There was a bit of thinking around. Obviously, we've done this for a long time, and we've been in a white truck before, and that was great because clearly it reflected the light, and therefore reflected a small percentage of heat.
And I thought lots of people thought maybe we stood out, and maybe we did, but it never really bothered us. We didn't even really think about it that much, did we?
So we did the full circle with the colour palette and decided that we would stick with something quite light.
Yes.
The cab was silver. We talked about sort of having it all silver, and we thought, well, maybe it's a bit boring. Maybe silver truck.
And metallic paint is quite a lot more expensive than.
We didn't want
flat
metallic.
paint.
We're not bothered about it getting scraped. I mean, that just adds to the patina, and that's not an equation.
We don't want to be precious about that at all.
No, you can't be if you want to get to the right places. So that was an issue, but all the same, you know, you want to be able to sort of fix paint easily,
Yeah.
and fixing a flat colour, or you know, a matte colour is much easier than metallic.
The other reason it's such a big deal is the cost. It's a huge cost.
Yeah.
And if you get it wrong, we could never afford to have it done again. So you know, it's really imperative that you're happy with the choice and you feel sort of confident. And in a way, I would have liked something really like, I don't know, like bright pink or something really exciting. But equally,
Yeah.
I think that the love affair with that would fade, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we actually went with something that, well, you've seen what we've gone for, and it is different in every light. And even the guys at the yard have commented, because first thing in the morning you just get that sort of intense light, and this, wow, you know, it's a different colour. You know, the old boy Jim said, "Oh, I think it's changed. It's changed since yesterday."
Yes.
I think he meant sort of maybe from a curing
Yeah.
point of view, but of course it's not that at all.
But if you are colourblind with greens, you might not see that it has got a green tinge to it. Some people can see that, some people can't. It's actually called papyrus white. The RAL number is 9018 if any of you want to paint your truck the same colour. And I think I absolutely love it. It's exactly what I wanted it to be.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I absolutely love it. We've had it back now for a little while, and every time I see it, just brings a smile to my face.
Yeah,
and
me too.
And a few people that have come into the yard have gone, "Oh wow, love the colour."
Yeah.
First thing they say.
And I'm
So-
sure as all newly painted trucks do, it looks really sharp right now, and it's crisp and it's sort of fresh to the eye.
It'll
I
never be
think-
as clean and gorgeous as it is
No,
now. Never.
I think once it gets our decals on it as well, which are all just going to be black,
Yeah.
I think that will be really cool.
But just very quickly, go back to, well, sorry, there's another factor. I was going to talk about cost, and I will in a minute, but I just want to say another big consideration is we've obviously been to a lot of countries, and a lot of countries where people are quite poor, actually, and, you know, they're on horse and carts, and you're sort of driving through in your big shiny truck, and we didn't want something that was just going to sort of pop out and be too, it sounds ridiculous because it's a big truck, and it is going to pop out. But
I suppose we're trying to be just maybe a little bit discreet.
people go to some real sort of extremes, some real lengths to try and sort of disguise the truck. So they have this gorgeous big truck that's maybe cost 300,000 or 400,000, and then they put these
Wraps and things.
you know, graphics and wraps on them and we've seen some crazy ones at the Overland show,
Yeah.
where people have actually put rust effect
Yeah.
on the truck, you know, and it's for that reason. If you're driving down through Africa or South America or places, you know, you got to be a little bit careful.
Yeah, that's very true. Hopefully we'll be a bit more scraped up by then.
Yeah.
By the time we get to those places.
Yeah. But just going back to cost, so the paint that you choose has a big sort of factor in terms of sort of how much the overall job is going to cost you. If it's metallic, it's more of a job. If it's an older colour, which is what ours is, it's like an old-fashioned colour and it's flat, then it's easy to work with, and generally if the paint's been out a while, it's cheaper. Not always the case. Rosso red, so the Ferrari colour. Candy apple red, again another classic. Guy up there was telling me that, you know, you're talking about more than double the price if you went for candy apple red, because that particular paint is so expensive. So when you think about a colour, go to the paint shop, get a price, understand how much it's going to cost before you're absolutely sort of set on it. So,
I mean, it's difficult to say because all in we've had quite a lot of work done. It's not just the truck. We've had some other things painted as well.
quite a lot of bits
The
actually.
fuel tank that we bought. Some of the bins are going to be painted that we're having made.
We've had some stuff galvanised and then powder coated as well. So there has been an awful lot of sort of bits here and there.
And there was extra work to do on the cab because things needed to be taken off and shot blasted. So if you had a newer cab, that, you know, there wouldn't be quite so much money. But we think we've probably spent, well, no, we know we've spent just under £10,000 on paint so far, or having it painted. And there's a little bit more to go as well.
That doesn't include the galvanisation.
Yeah.
That's just the paint.
Yeah.
So.
And we had budgeted 7. So true to form, we were off by about 30%, which seems to be a running theme with our budget right now.
But like everything else, you know, the guys did say if you had this done 4 or 5 years ago, you would have been bang on. You know, the cost of paint has gone up so much, like everything else.
Yeah. So that's our paint journey.
There we go. We would love to know your thoughts. I'd love to know your thoughts. You know, people, it's a funny thing, and it's not until you do it.
Polarizing,
and you've got to press the button on a particular colour that you go, shit, have we got this right? Yeah. And we really have been on that journey thinking, and there comes the point where you just got to say, no, that's the colour, we like it.
Yeah. Drop us a comment and tell us if you love it or hate it.
Yeah, or what colour you would do.
We have to live with it for a long time.
We do.
It's just
all right,
how
guys.
we love it.
Well, that really is it for this week.
Yeah.
Thanks for all your feedback.
Yeah.
And of course, we'll see you next time round.
Take care.
Bye for now.